All right, SAHARA Las Vegas. I love the north part of the strip, but this might be taking it a little too far. We're gonna find out. So this is the old SLS property, and I love the SLS brand, and I'm told there's still SLS DNA everywhere inside. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that is true. I'm also told this has the best restaurant in all of Nevada, Bizarre Meats by Jose Andres. You know I'm gonna find out if that is true. And I'm also told this has some phenomenal lounges with some excellent craft cocktails. I'm all about that. We're gonna find out if that is true. I'm here for 3 nights. This place actually looks really nice. I'm excited to be here. Let's get this trip started. This is Coolest Luxury Hotels, SAHARA Las Vegas. This room is really cool. It's sexy, it's quirky, as you can tell by the house of mirrors effect it has behind me. It's nice and white and bright, it's fresh, it's clean. This room has a lot going for it. So I'm gonna hit the high points for you, but if you're interested in staying here, you definitely wanna check out that dedicated room tour. I'll drop a link in the description below. Starting out in the bathroom, and as I said, this hotel room overall is quirky, it is cool, it is fun, and you have a full-length mirror that acts as the door. It slides open, it leads you into the bathroom. The bathroom is cozy, it is intimate, aka it is small, but it is nice and white in here, which makes the room feel much larger than what it is. You have a single vanity, you have a shower, and you have a toilet. That is about it. And then here we are in the epicenter of the Blanca King. You have a large TV on the wall with a dedicated workspace right below it. You have a soft king-size bed with not just a foot bench at the end of it, but a foot love seat. It is large enough for if someone needed to crash for a night or two, they could do that, allowing you to put an extra person in this room. Besides that, this room is accented by really cool, quirky, and fun touches. By far, the coolest quirk and the one that stands out the most are these huge, dual opposing LED mirrors that give off a funhouse effect anytime you look directly at one. I'm not really sure what they are doing inside this hotel room. One could only speculate, but I promise they make this room very unique and somewhat unforgettable. All right, I'm back in the room after my dinner at Jose Andres Bizarre Meats. I just stopped up to drop off my leftovers, but I thought I'd turn on the camera real quick and give you a quick update on my dinner since there was a lot of hype going into it. I don't know how I feel about it. That's not good, that's not bad. I will say that there were 2 standouts. The first standout was the menu. It was the most comprehensive, brilliant, and creative menu that I've ever seen at a steakhouse. It was hyper impressive. And then secondarily, the dishes. The dishes were unique, they were innovative, and they were beautiful. But I'm gonna go down to Tangier's Bar, which is the new Monkey Bar. It used to be called Monkey Bar when it was at SLS. I've been there before. I don't remember a lot from that night. I had a date. She was rather boring. So instead of being rather impolite, I just got rather inebriated. All right, good morning. It is my first official full day here at the Sahara. I wanted to start my morning off with a bang to continue the momentum that I built up from last night. So I literally started it out with some fireworks. This is a quadruple venti vanilla sweet cream cold brew. And for somebody that has not had caffeine in a long time, yes, I relapsed on caffeine again in Vegas, as I always do. Surprise, surprise, same song and dance. This thing is an out-of-body experience. And I'll tell you what else is an out-of-body experience. Waiting at Starbucks in the morning. This line was literally wrapped around the storefront. I always feel like such a human sheep and such a slave to Starbucks when I decide to wait in that seemingly never-ending line. There was one silver lining, and that is that the line here did move pretty quickly. If you have 15 minutes to spare, you are going to be able to get in and out, start to finish, cradle to grave with your Starbucks. So I got this, and then I ordered 2 breakfast sandwiches, and because they are too small for my liking, I have to combine them. And then I ordered 2 orders of egg white bites, and out the door it was $40. Starbucks was never really a good value, but now it's just like out of control. So I got my Starbucks out of the way, and I really have 3 things that I want to do today. I want to go play some high stakes slots right now, and then tonight I want to go try another restaurant here. I still need to tell you what I feel or how I feel about Jose Andres' Bizarre Meats. I still don't know. Last night was amazing, and yes, I did go to Tangiers for some late night cocktails as well. That pumpkin cocktail was out of this world. I would go back again just for that. But I still need to kind of formulate my thoughts, so I'll get back to you on that. I want to find another dinner place for tonight, and then I think I found a bar lounge that is even better and cooler than Tangiers, and Tangiers is pretty cool. It's called Casbah. So I got my rocket fuel. Now it's time to go play some slots. Then it's dinner, and then it's Casbah. Now I admit I was a little cynical walking in fact more cynical than I would have liked to be, but I've done this enough. I do this at every single hotel. I put in $50, $60, or $100, and I rarely win. Now, silver lining, when I do win large. I am up overall, but it rarely happens. I should have been more positive though. I really didn't have the best feeling walking in, and then when I did walk in, that bad feeling was confirmed. It was just a regular room. Typically these high stakes slot rooms have like an enhanced upscale decor to set them apart from just the standard slots in the standard main casino floor. This one was just a room. Also, the slot machine I wanted to play wouldn't take my money. The slot machine that was speaking to me was a shamrock machine. I walked up to it, put my money in, rejected. Did it again, put it in, rejected. Then I went to its sister machine right next to it. I put the money in that machine. That machine rejected me. Then I went back to the original machine and put my money in upside down and backwards, which has never worked in any machine, slot, vending, whatever, in the history of man. I was just hoping it would work. It didn't. So that should have been a big sign right there. And then I continued to walk to the back of the slot room. You never play the slots in the back, I know. And I played a Wheel of Fortune machine, which I have never won at, ever. And I lost my money in record time, 40 seconds. So that was my high stakes slots adventure here at the Sahara. We'll see if I can win again at the next hotel. All right, it's my final evening here at the Sahara. Before I tell you where I'm going, I need to tell you where I've been. Let me start with dinner last night at Uno Mas. There were really 2 standouts. Number 1 was the Dole Whip. I love that drink. It's one of my favorite drinks in all of Vegas. I don't see it as much as I should. The Dole Whip here had a variation that I've never seen before. Typically, and almost always, it is served with vodka. This one, because it was at a Mexican place, was served with tequila. I'm a big fan of vodka, not the biggest fan of tequila, but I have to call it like it is. The tequila version was far superior. To go alongside that outstanding drink, there was one exceptional dish, and that was the crispy pollo taco. I think what made it so delicious was the coleslaw and also the puya honey mayo. If I had to go back again, I would just order 6 of those. That's how delicious it was. After Uno Mas, I had every intention of going to Casbah, but it just didn't happen. I was too tired, so that's actually where I'm off to right now. But before I get there, I want to tell you what I did this morning. So this morning I went up and I went to the gym, and that may sound like a very trivial task, but I am so glad that I went there because the gym is not in this tower, but the newer tower, the Alexandria Tower, is where the gym is. And I'm so glad I strolled over there because that is the tower that you want to be in. That is the tower that I will stay in when I come back here. It is newer, it is fresher, cleaner, more modern, more upscale, more luxurious, and cooler. So if you like the W brand and all of the elements that come along with that, you really want to come check out the Sahara and specifically stay in the Alexandria Tower. I just finished up at Chicky Pete's, and Chicky Pete's is a sports bar, but it is anything but a sports bar. It is modern and fresh and classy, kind of. It was fantastic. If you're sick of your traditional sports bars, I think you should go to Chicky Pete's. This place, I think, would be hopping on like a college football Saturday, on like an NFL Sunday, March Madness. In fact, I think this is a spot to go, maybe incognito. This should be your backup spot to watch the Super Bowl. Maybe your primary spot, depending on where you like to go or what you like to do, but they had a back bar room here that was like so trick and cool. They had like a fireplace, a modern fireplace that kind of led into this back bar, and then the back bar had private rooms at a sports bar. Multiple TVs in there, you could watch the game, you could play Xbox. They really thought of everything. My favorite part of the dinner, however, was not the purple gin and tonic, which I always do love. It was the brown cinnamon maple syrup sauce that I had for my sweet potato fries. It's pretty magical. If Casbar was located decently somewhere on the strip, I think it'd be one of the better, if not one of the best lounges in Vegas. This place was spectacular and sensational. Where it is right now, I think it's a great date spot. Yes, I'm giving out date spots here on the channel, but it's perfect because it's a little off strip. And when you go on a date in Vegas, you want a place that's kind of happening, but also kind of quiet. You want a place that's really kind of cool, but also somewhat social. And great lounges meet all of that criteria. This place was cool, it was classy, it was cozy, it was social. It basically offered everything. I like the fact that it had really private seating in the back, so if you did want to have a really intimate conversation or drink, you can do that. There's lounge seating spaced about everywhere, and of course there's bar seating as well. And thankfully this place was not all show and no go, this place was all go. I'm referring to the drinks. The drinks were sensational as well. My two favorites of the night were the huge stop sign. That was a taste of the islands right at the Sahara in Las Vegas. But easily the drink of the night and absolutely the drink of the trip was the Electric Feels. This is a hyper blue drink, and the star of this drink is the Electro Dust Rim. This drink reminds me of the Verbena at the Cosmo, which won Cocktail of the Year for the entire globe. The Verbena has a Szechuan flower that makes your mouth go numb and tingly, much kind of like Pop Rocks. This Electro Dust Rim is like that Verbena on steroids. So if you're a big fan of the Verbena, the secret drink at the Chandelier Bar at the Cosmo, get yourself to Casbar at the Sahara and check out the Electric Feels. All right, the Sahara, I have so many thoughts percolating right now. I'm really not sure where to start. I had a great trip. I think this hotel offers a phenomenal value. I'm gonna probably make a list of some of my favorite value hotels in Vegas, and this will absolutely be on it. I wanna talk about who this hotel is for. I've never really said this before, or if I have said it, I've said it very, very few times. This hotel I think is pretty much for anyone. This hotel is so versatile. As a couple, you're gonna have a great time here. As a small group, great time. Large group, young, old. This hotel, even though it is so modern and cool and chic and trendy, I think it really caters to pretty much any age demographic. I am absolutely going to come back to this place, and when I do, I'm going to stay at the Alexandria Tower. That takes this experience to even an enhanced level. It's even more modern, classier, more upscale, with a lot more options. There is a lounge downstairs right by the elevator. It is the old W property. That is the W Tower when this place was a W hotel, and that's where I'm going to stay, and apparently that is where the suites are as well. So if you're looking for the best of the room action and basically the action overall on this property, I think you want to stay at the Alexandria Tower. So where is the problem? What is the major drawback or catch of this property? Well, the problem is there isn't one drawback or catch, there are three. And the first one is, you probably guessed, this location. This location is poor, and that is putting it nicely. It is actually quite terrible. You are so far removed from the Strip, and because you are so north, you really get into some unbecoming, seedy, scandalous, and shady parts of Las Vegas. Secondly, I talked about the SLS and W vibe. It is still everywhere in this property. The problem is that it is not attracting the SLS and W crowd. Now that is the reason a lot of people stay at SLS and W properties, is because of the crowd that it attracts. Typically it is a very vivacious and beautiful and young and fun, effervescent, carefree, have a good time type crowd. Not that those people don't exist here. I actually found the crowd here to be better than I thought it would be, considering the location. But you're not going to get that young, cool, hip, trendy crowd totally that you would find at other W and SLS properties. So yes, this is a SLS and this is a W property in spirit, but you're not going to find the complete SLS and W clientele that you would solely at other properties. The third major drawback of this hotel is that it's small. I think that's a positive for me because I don't mind the change of pace. I like the more intimate and boutique-y type properties. And it's really not that small. I think it has around 1,500 rooms. I'm just going off the top of my head. But it's not like a Cromwell Small or anything like that. But it's a weekend hotel at best. I think if you stay here for more than 2 nights, you're gonna get very bored. And again, because it is so isolated and there's nothing around, there is nothing around to kind of buffer that boredom. You're here. And if you're like me and you like staying on property, going to a different restaurant every night, maybe going to a different bar every night, you are going to run out of steam after your second night, maybe your third. So this is a phenomenal hotel. I think it's a perfect weekend hotel, maybe even a getaway for one night hotel if you're coming from Los Angeles. But if you really like to unfurl, adventure, and search out everything the property has to offer, you are going to get bored here after your second, third night for sure here at the Sahara. If you think there isn't a good property north of Resort World, you are wrong. The Sahara is fantastic. Again, it has one of the best restaurants in Vegas at Jose Andres Bazaar Meats. The crowd was great. The rooms are fantastic. If you can get past the drawbacks, you're gonna have a great time. I'm gonna give this hotel a 2.5. It's a 2.5. It could easily be a 3 on the right day. I'd like to come back and see what the remodel is like. I'd like to stay in an enhanced room. I'd like to stay in probably maybe a suite, and I'd like to come back in the summer and check out the pool. If there is a suite here that really blows my mind, and if the pool is a better experience than what I thought, this place could easily be a 3 or maybe even a 4. This is a fantastic property. It really exceeded expectations. This is the reason I do these videos, is to check out hotels I normally wouldn't and then get surprised on the upside. This place is one of the best value hotels in Las Vegas, and if you're looking for something different, if you're sick of the Strip, if you're looking for a great getaway hotel for a weekend or for a night, I can't recommend the Sahara enough.